If you've ever wondered what it's like to have your entire world ripped apart in a single brutal night and then be thrust into a battle against unimaginable horrors, then buckle up, because Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is about to take you on a journey you won't forget. This isn't just another anime about fighting monsters, it's a deeply emotional tale of loss, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between siblings. Imagine waking up to find your family massacred, save for your little sister who's been transformed into the very thing that murdered them. What would you do? Our protagonist Tanjiro Kamado chooses to fight, not for revenge but for a cure, for a flicker of hope that his sister, Nezuko, can be returned to her human self. So grab a snack and get comfortable, because we're diving deep into the first season of Demon Slayer, where every breath is a fight for survival, and every swing of a sword carries the weight of a shattered past. This is also profoundly significant. Despite Nezuko's monstrous transformation and her attempt to bite him, Tanjiro refuses to see her as just another demon. He clings to the belief that she can be saved, that somewhere within that demonic form his sister still exists. This unwavering determination, his fierce love for Nezuko, becomes the driving force behind his every action. Just as Nezuko lunges at him, a mysterious figure appears, a young man clad in a distinct more than a dangerous, brutal training regimen designed to push him to his absolute limits. The training begins with basic physical conditioning, running up and down the mountain, carrying heavy logs, and enduring traps designed to sharpen his reflexes and awareness. Urokodaki teaches Tanjiro how to adapt to the mountain's harsh environment, how to breathe efficiently, and how to utilize his acute sense of smell to detect subtle changes in the air and the presence of demons. A significant part of his training involves learning total concentration breathing, a fundamental key in every movement. Throughout this arduous training, Nezuko remains by Tanjiro's side, sleeping in her box during the day and sometimes waking at night, but never showing any inclination to harm him or any human. Urokodaki uses hypnosis on Nezuko, instilling in her the belief that all humans are her family and all demons are her enemies. This further solidifies her unique resistance to her demonic instinct, instructs him to split a massive boulder with his sword. Tanjiro trains relentlessly for 6 months, trying everything he can, but the boulder remains unyielding. Frustration mounts and he begins to despair. And just when he feels like giving up, two mysterious figures appear, a young boy named Sabito and a young girl named Makomo. These two, though appearing as spirits, guide Tanjiro, offering advice. Strike, the boulder splits cleanly in two. This monumental achievement signifies his readiness for the next, even more dangerous step, the final selection. The final selection is the ultimate test for aspiring demon slayers, a perilous 7-day ordeal held on Mount Fujikasane. Only those who survive this gauntlet of demons are deemed worthy of joining the Demon Slayer Corps. Urokodaki, seeing Tanjiro's readiness, sends him to participate, emphasizing the grave dangers he will face. Mount Fujikasane is unique. It's a mountain where demons are trapped, unable to escape due to the wisteria flowers that bloom year-round at its base, a potent poison for demons. However, within the mountain's confines, demons thrive, having been captured and thrown there by previous demon slayers. Upon arrival, Tanjiro finds himself among a group of other hopefuls, all with their own reasons for seeking to become demon slayers. The trial begins and the mountain is teeming with demons, some monstrously large, others disturbingly cunning, all hungry for human flesh. Candidates are quickly overwhelmed and killed. He uses his water breathing techniques, honed under Urokodaki's strict guidance, to dispatch the demons he encounters. His acute sense of smell becomes a crucial asset, allowing him to anticipate demon attacks and locate their weaknesses. During the selection, Tanjiro encounters a particularly grotesque and vengeful demon, the Hand Demon. This ancient demon has been trapped on Mount Fujikasane for decades and boasts about having devoured many of Urokodaki's former apprentices, including Sabito and Makomo. The Hand Demon's taunts enrage Tanjiro, confirming that the spirits who helped him were indeed the souls of Urokodaki's past students who perished in this very selection. Driven by a surge of grief and righteous anger, Tanjiro unleashes a powerful water-breathing form. A precise Tanjiro fights tirelessly, narrowly escaping death on multiple occasions, pushing his body and spirit to their absolute limits. He witnesses the sheer cruelty of the demon world and the desperation of those fighting within it. After 7 agonizing days, only a handful of candidates emerge from the wisteria-filled forest. Tanjiro is one of them, battered but alive. The survivors are greeted by 2 identical young girls, the announcers of the final selection, who present them Kasugai Crow, a specialized crow that serves as a messenger for demons to the source of the disappearances, a swamp demon. This demon possesses a unique and disturbing ability to create swirling puddles of black swamp-like goo that act as portals, allowing it to move underground and abduct its victims without a trace. The swamp demon is cunning and elusive, utilizing its swamp to surprise Tanjiro from various angles. The fight is challenging as the demon can split itself into 3 separate entities, making it harder to track and defeat. Tanjiro employs his water-breathing techniques, using the fluid movements to counter the demon's unpredictable attacks. He demonstrates his growing skill and adaptability in combat, learning to anticipate the demon's movements within its swampy dimension. During the battle, Nezuko emerges from her box, surprising both Tanjiro and the demon with her active participation in the fight. While her demonic strength is evident, she doesn't use any specific breathing techniques like Tanjiro. Instead, she relies on raw power and agility. The swamp demon is shocked to encounter a demon fighting alongside a human, especially one so powerful. Together to defeat the demon, Tanjiro learns a crucial piece of information: the existence of Musan Kibutsuji, the progenitor of all demons and the one responsible for turning Nezuko into a demon. This revelation deeply impacts Tanjiro. Musan Kibutsuji is the ultimate target, the key to finding a cure for Nezuko. He now has a face, a name, and a clear goal. Tanjiro's next mission takes him to Asakusa, Tokyo, a bustling modern city. The sudden shift from the serene countryside to the vibrant, electrified city is jarring. The sights and sounds overwhelm his senses, but his priority remains the same: finding Muzan. Using his heightened sense of smell, Tanjiro picks up on Muzan's distinct scent amidst the throngs of people. The encounter is shocking and surreal. Muzan, master of deception. Tanjiro confronts him, but Muzan, with chilling calmness, quickly creates a diversion by turning a passerby into a demon, causing chaos and allowing him to escape. As the newly created demon attacks civilians, Tanjiro is about to intervene when he is stopped by a mysterious woman. This is Tamio, a compassionate and intelligent demon doctor. Accompanying her is Yushiro, her fiercely protective assistant. Both Tamayo and Yushiro are demons, but that she is a demon who has broken free from Muzan's control and has dedicated centuries to researching a cure for demonification and a way to defeat Muzan. Tamayo and Yushiro are surprised by Nezuko's unique condition, her ability to resist human blood and her protective instincts towards Tanjiro. Tamayo recognizes Nezuko's potential as a key to her research. She explains that she has modified her own body to survive with minimal human blood and that Yushiro is a demon she created. Tamayo invites Tanjiro and Nezuko to her hidden abode, a secret layers and the intricate ways he controls other demons. She also explains that to create a cure for Nezuko, she needs blood samples from demons with unique compositions, particularly those with high concentrations of Muzan's blood. This sets Tanjiro on a new quest, not just to kill demons but to collect their blood samples for Tamayo's research. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of two of Muzan's direct subordinates, Susamaru, a demon girl who attacks with powerful temari balls, and Yaiba, a demon with eyes on his palms that allow him to manipulate directional forces. These demons are sent by Muzan to eliminate Tanjiro and retrieve Nezuko. Recognizing the threat they pose, the battle is fierce. Susamaru's temari balls are incredibly destructive, capable of obliterating buildings, while Yaiba's directional arrows are invisible and can slam Tanjiro into walls or redirect his attacks. Tanjiro, with Nezuko, Tamayo, and Yushiro's help, fights strategically. Yushiro uses his blood demon art to create illusions, confusing the demons, while Tamayo uses her own unique abilities. Nezuko, displaying her raw power, kicks the temari balls back at Susamaru. Tanjiro uses various water-breathing forms to counter Yaiba's arrows and eventually finds a way to cut off Yaiba's head by adapting his movements to nullify the directional forces. Susamaru, weakened and disoriented, is finally defeated by Tamayo, who uses a specific poison that targets demons with Muzan's blood. The fight is a testament to the combined strength of their alliance and a stark reminder of Muzan's reach. After the battle in Asakusa, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Tamayo, and Yushiro part ways, with Tanjiro continuing his mission to find more demons for blood samples and Tamayo retreating to continue her research. Tanjiro's next assignment leads him to a strange mansion where sounds of a Tsuzumi drum can be heard. This is the Tsuzumi mansion, and it's here that Tanjiro encounters his next formidable adversaries, as well as two of his future traveling companions. As he approaches the mansion, Tanjiro encounters two children who claim their older brother was taken into the house by a demon. He agrees to help them, and it's then that he meets Zenitsu Agatsuma, another demon slayer. Zenitsu is immediately characterized by his overwhelming cowardice and constant whining. He is terrified of demons, screams at the slightest provocation, and constantly tries to flirt with any girl he sees, including Nezuko in her box, much to Tanjiro's annoyance. Despite his abject fear, Zenitsu possesses an astonishing ability. When he passes out from fright, he enters a state of unconscious focus, unleashing incredibly powerful and precise techniques using thunder breathing, a sword style characterized by lightning-fast movements. Inside the mansion, the layout constantly shifts and changes with the beat of a Tsuzumi drum. This is the work of Kyogai, a former lower-ranked demon of the 12 Kizuki, who uses drums embedded in his body to manipulate the rooms and create powerful claw attacks. The mansion itself is a chaotic maze designed to disorient and trap its victims. Tanjiro and Zenitsu become separated inside the mansion. Tanjiro, relying on his keen sense of smell, navigates the shifting rooms, constantly protecting the children who are with him. He faces various minor demons that Kyogai controls, further testing his adaptability and growing skill. During his encounters, Tanjiro learns to analyze the patterns of Kyogai's drum beats to predict the room's movements. He develops a new water-breathing form, Water Wheel, specifically designed for movement within the confined and shifting spaces. Meanwhile, Zenitsu, accompanied by one of the children, finds himself in a room with a horrifying demon. Overwhelmed by fear, he passes out, entering his unconscious state. In this state, he flawlessly executes the first form, Thunderclap and Flash, a move so fast that he appears to vanish and reappear, effortlessly dispatching the demon. He wakes up moments later, completely unaware of what he's done, only remembering his paralyzing fear. This This recurring gag highlights the duality of Zenitsu's character, a fearful individual who transforms into a formidable warrior when unconscious. As Tanjiro continues deeper into the mansion, he encounters a third, equally eccentric character, Inosuke Hashibira. Inosuke is a wild, brash, and muscle-bound young man who wears a boar's head mask and fights with two serrated Nichiren blades. He was raised by boars in the mountains and possesses an incredibly aggressive and competitive personality. He's constantly challenging everyone to a fight, including Tanjiro, and has a complete disregard for rules or social norms. Inosuke utilizes beast breathing, a self-taught style that emphasizes wild, unpredictable attacks and heightened senses, allowing him to perceive the slightest vibrations in the air. Inosuke, driven by his desire to fight strong opponents, is actively hunting demons within the mansion, often crashing through walls in his reckless pursuit. He constantly tries to pick fights with Tanjiro, viewing him as a rival. Tanjiro eventually confronts Kyogai. The former lower-ranked demon, stripped of his rank by Musen for being too weak and unable to eat enough humans, is obsessed with regaining his power and proving his worth. He unleashes a barrage of drum attacks, making the room spin, flip, and creating devastating claw slashes. Tanjiro, already injured from previous encounters and struggling with his injuries from the final selection, pushes past his limits. He realizes that Kyogai's attacks originate from the drums on his body, and by anticipating the rhythm, he can counter them. He uses his water-breathing techniques, especially his water wheel and striking tide forms, to navigate the shifting environment and deflect attacks. Ultimately, he delivers a precise blow, decapitating Kyogai. Even as Kyogai dies, Tanjiro shows his characteristic empathy, acknowledging the demon's sorrow and the beauty of his blood demon art, showing a contrast to Inosuke's brutal approach to demon slaying. After the fight, Tanjiro finds Zenitsu and Inosuke. Inosuke immediately tries to fight Tanjiro, even attempting to harm Nezuko's box, which sends Tanjiro into a protective rage, leading to a comedic but intense brawl where Tanjiro headbutts Inosuke. This is the beginning of their unlikely trio, a dynamic that will define much of the season's humor and camaraderie. Despite their wildly different personalities, they are now bound together by their shared purpose as demon slayers. Following the chaotic events at the Tsutsumi Mansion, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke are given their next mission: investigate mysterious disappearances on Mount Natagumo. This mission marks a significant escalation in difficulty and introduces the concept of the 12 Kizuki's power. Even though the demons they face are not direct members of the upper or lower ranks, but a family under a lower ranked demon's control. Mount Natagumo is shrouded in an eerie, unsettling atmosphere, constantly covered in spider webs. The Demon Slayer Corps has already sent several groups of slayers to investigate, but none have returned. This immediately sets a grim tone. As they venture deeper, they encounter a demon slayer trapped in a grotesque web, being controlled like a puppet by invisible threads. This reveals the terrifying power of the demons inhabiting the mountain. They soon discover that the mountain is inhabited by the Spider Family, a group of demons who share a unique connection and operate as a cohesive unit. The family consists of the mother, father, daughter, and son, all sharing spider-like characteristics and powers, with the youngest, Rui, being the most powerful and the true orchestrator of their terror. Inosuke, ever reckless, rushes ahead, eager for a fight. He encounters a number of demon slayers who have been strung up and controlled by the mother spider demon, forcing them to attack their former comrades. Tanjiro and Inosuke are forced to fight these puppets, a morally distressing task. Tanjiro, realizing the source of the control, uses his water breathing to cut the threads without harming the slayers, showcasing his precision and compassion. The mother spider demon is a tragic figure, manipulated and abused by Rui. She controls her victims with powerful, nearly invisible threats. Tanjiro and Inosuke engage her, but her ability to manipulate her puppets makes her a formidable opponent. Tanjiro, using his enhanced senses, manages to pinpoint her location and uses a powerful water breathing form, Water Wheel, to reach her. As he delivers the final blow, he uses the 10th form, Constant Flux, a swirling, powerful attack, but his compassion shines through as he makes the cut as painless as possible for her, recognizing her suffering. Before she dies, the mother spider demon gives Tanjiro a crucial warning about Rui's immense power. Meanwhile, Zenitsu, who initially tries to flee, eventually follows the group due to his fear of being alone. He gets separated and finds himself facing the Son spider demon, the smaller one, not the large father. This demon is capable of infecting others with a deadly poison that slowly transforms them into spiders. Zenitsu, overcome by fear, again passes out. In his unconscious state, he unleashes the first form, Thunderclap and Flash, sixfold, a super fast attack, delivering multiple precise strikes to the demon. He manages to defeat the demon, but not before being badly poisoned. He spends the rest of the arc suffering from the poison, creating a mix of comedic and serious moments. Inosuke, still driven by his competitive nature, encounters the father spider demon, a massive, incredibly strong demon with thick, hardened skin similar to a rhinoceros beetle. This demon is impervious to most attacks. Inosuke's reckless, beast-breathing attacks prove ineffective, and he is severely outmatched, taking heavy damage. Tanjiro arrives just in time to save Inosuke from certain death. Tanjiro and Inosuke work together against the father's spider demon, but even their combined efforts struggle against its brute force and durability. Tanjiro realizes his sword isn't strong enough to cut its hardened neck. It's during this fight that Gyuto Tomioka arrives on the mountain. He quickly dispatches the father spider demon with a single, effortless blow using his 10th form, Constant Flux, demonstrating the immense power of a Hashira and highlighting the gap in strength between Tanjiro and the top-tier demon slayers. As the battle progresses, Tanjiro finds himself facing Rui, the main antagonist of this arc. Rui is one of the lower ranks of the 12 Kisuki, a group of the most powerful demons directly under Muzan's command. Rui's blood demon art involves manipulating incredibly sharp and durable spider threads, which he uses to create a deadly web of attacks, capable of slicing through flesh and bone with ease. He is obsessed with the concept of family and forces other demons to act as his family members, punishing them brutally if they do not adhere to his twisted ideals of familial bonds. The fight against Rui is the most challenging Tanjiro has faced so far. Rui's threads are too strong for Tanjiro's Nichiren blade, and he is repeatedly cut and injured. Tanjiro tries various water-breathing forms, but none are sufficient to break through Rui's defenses or sever his head. It's during this desperate struggle that a profound moment occurs. As Tanjiro is on the verge of defeat, seeing Nezuko being tortured by Rui's threads, he remembers his father's sacred dance, the Hinokami Kagura, dance of the fire god. This is not a water-breathing form. It's a completely different, ancient breathing technique passed down through his family. Fueled by his unbreakable bond with Nezuko and a surge of determination, Tanjiro switches from water breathing to the Hinokami Kagura, specifically the dance form. This technique, combined with Nezuko's desperate use of her newly awakened blood demon art, Exploding Blood, which causes her blood to ignite and explode, burning Rui's threads, creates a moment of immense power. The combined attack is devastating, allowing Tanjiro to finally sever Rui's head. However, the fight isn't over. Rui, as a powerful demon, can reattach his head. Tanjiro realizes this, and a moment later, Gyuto Tomioka arrives again. Witnessing Nezuko protecting Tanjiro and the extraordinary display of the Hinokami Kagura, Gyu acknowledges Tanjiro's progress. Gyu then faces the headless Rui and effortlessly dispatches him using his 11th form, Dead Calm, a unique water-breathing technique that allows him to nullify all incoming attacks before landing a precise fatal blow to Rui's neck. The Battle of Mount Natagumo is a turning point. It pushes Tanjiro beyond his limits, forcing him to tap into a hidden power. It also demonstrates the vast difference in strength between him and the Hashira. The Demon Slayer Corps, having received reports of Hashira-level demons on the mountain, dispatches 2 more Hashira to clean up: Shinobu Kocho, the Insect Hashira, and Gyuto Tomioka, the Water Hashira. Shinobu Kocho, with her deceptively calm demeanor and constant smile, is ruthless in her pursuit of demons. She uses a unique fighting style, injecting demons with various poisons derived from wisteria, as her slender blade cannot decapitate them. She arrives and immediately targets Nezuko, believing all demons must be exterminated. Gyu intervenes, protecting Nezuko and explaining her unique case. This leads to a brief, tense standoff between the 2 Hashira, but Gyu's conviction and his willingness to put his life on the line for Tanjiro and Nezuko convinces Shinobu to temporarily back down. The injured Tanjiro and Nezuko are eventually taken into custody by the Demon Slayer Corps, along with the poisoned Zenitsu and the injured Inosuke. The Mount Natagumo arc concludes with the Demon Slayers now aware of Nezuko's unique situation and the siblings' extraordinary bond, setting the stage for their trial. The aftermath of Mount Natagumo leads to one of the most critical events of the first season, the Hashira meeting. Tanjiro, along with Nezuko in her box, is brought before the 9 Hashira, the strongest and most elite Demon Slayers in the entire Corps, and their leader, Kagaya Ubuyashiki, the Oyakata-sama. The Hashira are a formidable and diverse group, each with their own distinct personality and breathing style. Gyuto Tomioka, Water Hashira, calm, collected, and surprisingly empathetic towards Tanjiro and Nezuko. Shinobu Kocho, Insect Hashira, always smiling, but her smile masks a cold, calculating, and ruthless resolve against demons. Kyujuro Rengoku, Flame Hashira, enthusiastic, loud, and incredibly passionate. Tengen Uzui, Sound Hashira, flamboyant, flashy, and self-proclaimed god of festivals. Muichiro Tokito, Mist Hashira, absent-minded and seemingly emotionless, yet incredibly powerful. Mitsuri Kanroji, Love Hashira, emotional, kind-hearted, and loves everything about the Hashira and Tanjiro's bond with Nezuko. Obana Iguro, Serpent Hashira, skeptical, cynical, and highly distrustful of Nezuko. Sanemi Shinazugawa, Wind Hashira, volatile, aggressive, and harbors an intense hatred for all demons. Gyomei Himejima, Stone Hashira, large, muscular, and constantly shedding tears, embodying deep compassion and prayer. The meeting is essentially a trial for Tanjiro and Nezuko. Most of the Hashira are vehemently against allowing a demon, even one like Nezuko, to exist within the Demon Slayer Corps. Sanemi Shinazugawa is particularly vocal and aggressive, going so far as to stab Nezuko's box to provoke her, attempting to prove that she is no different from any other demon. Tanjiro, still injured and tied up, tries desperately to defend Nezuko, even headbutting Sanemi in a moment of desperate defiance, a move that shocks the Hashira with his audacity. The turning point comes with the arrival of Kagaya Ubuyashiki, the Oyakata-sama. Despite his frail health, he commands immense respect from all the Hashira. His calm, soothing voice and empathetic nature immediately bring a sense of order to the chaotic meeting. Ubuyashiki reveals that he has already acknowledged Tanjiro and Nezuko's unique situation. He explains that Nezuko has shown incredible resistance to human blood and has not consumed a single human since her transformation. He also reveals a letter from Giyu Tomioka and Sakonji Urokodaki vouching for Nezuko, stating that if she were to ever devour a human, they, along with Tanjiro, would commit seppuku, ritual suicide, to atone for her actions. To further prove Nezuko's unique nature, Sanemi attempts a final test. He cuts his own arm, letting his rare, potent blood, Marechi blood, which is irresistible to most demons, drip into Nezuko's box. Despite the overwhelming temptation, Nezuko turns away, resisting the urge to consume his blood. This crucial moment sways the most skeptical of the Hashira. Ubuyashiki then makes his ultimate decision. Tanjiro and Nezuko will be officially recognized by the Demon Slayer Corps, with Nezuko being allowed to travel with Tanjiro under strict conditions. This marks an unprecedented decision in the history of the Corps. Ubuyashiki also reveals his deep understanding of Muzanki Butsuji and his vision for defeating him, emphasizing that Tanjiro's potential, especially his Hinokami Kagura, might be the key to achieving their ultimate goal. After the meeting, Tanjiro and Nezuko are sent to Shinobu Kocho's Butterfly Mansion for recovery and rehabilitation. Zenitsu and Inosuke also arrive there for treatment, leading to more comedic interactions. At the Butterfly Mansion, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke begin their recovery and intense rehabilitation training under the guidance of Shinobu Kocho and her assistants, the stoic Kanao Tsuyuri, a Tsuguko or successor to Shinobu, and the kind young girls Aoi, Sumi, Kyo, and Naho. Nezuko, now cleared to be with Tanjiro, spends her time sleeping to recover her strength and further solidify her unique demon abilities. The rehabilitation training is initially brutal and demoralizing for the boys. It focuses not just on physical recovery, but also on mastering total concentration breathing constant. This advanced technique requires maintaining the amplified breathing state at all times, even during sleep. This dramatically increases the Demon Slayer's physical capabilities, endurance, and reaction time. The training regimen at the Butterfly Mansion consists of several parts. Basic rehabilitation. This involves massages to alleviate muscle pain and flexibility exercises, primarily conducted by the young girls, which proves to be both painful and embarrassing for the boys. Reflex training. Kanao challenges the boys to games that test their reflexes and speed, such as splashing tea on each other or catching cups. Kanao, with her incredibly sharp reflexes and silent movements, consistently outmatches them. Full concentration breathing training. This is the most crucial part. The boys are taught to maintain total concentration breathing. Constant. Tanjiro, with his innate diligence and a strong sense of purpose, quickly grasps the concept, pushing himself to his limits day and night. Zenitsu and Inosuke struggle significantly at first. Zenitsu, though capable of using thunder breathing unconscious, finds it hard to maintain conscious control. Inosuke's wild nature makes it difficult for him to focus on precise breathing. Tanjiro's dedication and perseverance inspire the others. He continuously practices his breathing, pushing his body to the brink. Through sheer willpower and repeated attempts, he finally masters total concentration breathing, constant, which drastically improves his speed, strength, and endurance. This also allows him to use his water breathing forms with far greater efficiency and power. Inspired by Tanjiro's progress and perhaps a bit of envy for his rapidly growing strength, Zenitsu and Inosuke also start putting in more effort. Zenitsu eventually manages to maintain total concentration breathing, constant, albeit with much whining and complaining. Inosuke, though still struggling with the mental discipline, physically pushes himself to adapt. During that time at the Butterfly Mansion, the boys also interact with Kanao Tsuyuri. Kanao, a quiet girl who makes decisions by flipping a coin, initially shows very little emotion. Tanjiro, with his empathetic nature, tries to connect with her, even attempting to influence her to make decisions for herself without the coin. He ultimately encourages her to follow her heart, a small but significant interaction that begins to break through Kanao's emotional shell. Shinobu Kocho also provides more insights into her fighting style and her personal motivations. She reveals her sister Kanei Kocho was killed by a demon, which fuels her desire for revenge. Despite her seemingly cheerful demeanor, she carries a deep sorrow and a burning hatred for demons, which she channels into her unique wisteria-based poisons. She also shows a keen interest in Nezuko's unique condition, recognizing its potential for finding a cure for demonification. As their training concludes, the boys are fully recovered and significantly stronger. Their Nichiren blades, which were initially dull gray, begin to change color, reflecting their unique breathing styles. Tanjiro's blade turns black, a color often associated with bad luck for demon slayers, but hints at his ability to utilize multiple breathing forms. Zenitsu's blade takes on a lightning pattern, and Inosuke's remains blue, but he keeps his serrated edges. The season culminates with the trio, now a fully formed and effective team, receiving their next mission. Their Kasuga crows inform them of a new threat, a powerful demon lurking on a moving train. This sets the stage for the highly anticipated Mugen Train arc, which serves as the direct continuation of the story, featuring the Flame Hashira Kyojuro Rengoku. The first season of Demon Slayer is a compelling narrative of grief, resilience, and the power of family. Tanjiro's journey from a heartbroken charcoal seller to a determined Demon Slayer, all while protecting his beloved sister Nezuko, is filled with harrowing battles, emotional moments, and the introduction of a vibrant cast of characters. We've seen him grow from a novice to a capable warrior, mastering his breathing techniques and proving his worth to the formidable Hashira. The bond between Tanjiro and Nezuko remains the emotional core of the series, a beacon of hope. What was your favorite moment from this incredible first season? And are you as excited as I am to see what challenges Tanjiro and his friends will face next? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget